lovely little snakelets, it's Hebi here, and today we're going to be reacting to One Piece chapter 1109. Usually I don't recap previous chapters. I usually put an announcement in the Discord that I'm not doing chapters. So that's why I say please join the Discord for any news and updates on whether I'm going to be doing chapters. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, please do. And if you would like to buy me a coffee, you can buy me a coffee on Buy Me a Coffee. I do believe it was like 38-40 degrees around about the time this chapter came out in my area, so my migraines were hitting really bad because the heat affects them. And it was also the time that my PC was being upgraded. I've just had my Botox done on Monday. Tuesday I had blood tests because the neurologist ordered it. I don't know why, because she didn't want to check it, my blood tests from like 6 months ago. But yeah, I had a long 2-hour wait at the pathology. That's why we're doing it on Wednesday. I will probably be live streaming reactions on Monday. I just don't know how I'll be feeling yet, and it depends on how I sleep, realistically, because I've had insomnia for the last couple weeks. Yay. But let's start the chapter, shall we? The message is starting to play. It's a recording of the Vegapunks. As you can see, is Shaka. So whether this is a pre-recorded before the Straw Hats made landfall on the island, it is unknown. Shaka is asking if it is wise for Vegapunk to make the broadcast, as it may not work. He continues by telling Vegapunk that they are relying too much on people to be ready to receive the information. And he says that he is worried how the information will be betrayed, as the intelligence agencies may use information to create mass confusion and panic. As they, and he does not want them to make, the intelligence agencies obviously, to make Vegapunk look like a foolish old man. Vegapunk asks Shaka, do you think they're going to censor the message somehow? I don't think they are. As the conversation continues, we sweep down to the current timeline. The Marines are freaking out as the conversation seems to be broadcasting from all the transponder snails on the Marine ships. This means they are broadcasting through the Marine comms system worldwide. It's been hacked. Seems like you can hack the Marines very easily. I wonder if the Revs are doing that. Be fucking hilarious if they are. The conversation continues. I might mooch up. With Shaka saying they can piggyback off the Marine communication traffic system, and that would allow them to go global at maximum strike. Vegapunk says, well, I say, that makes it possible for everyone with a transponder snail to receive the initial voice message, but it'll take some time to prepare the visual snails, obviously. Now, when I heard and saw this panel, I assumed that Vegapunk was going to show the Iron Giant from 1106 because it had awakened when Luffy went 5th year. But given what we saw in the next chapter and the fact that there are transponder camera snails all throughout the island, I'm assuming it's the Elder Stars, the Gorosei. But I'm still hoping that we get to see the Iron Giant as Well, if that makes sense. Because there's gotta be more than one throughout the world. There's gotta be. The Marines seem to be angry at the fact that the Vegapunks have the audacity to piggyback off their communication systems as they are trying helplessly to fix the issues. We then move to see Luffy slightly questioning the broadcast, but it seems that he is listening, but also focusing on the battle at hand. The conversation continues. Vegapunk says, let's take an interval of an hour. Shaka responds to him by saying an hour is too long. Do you realize what will happen in this time? Shaka is obviously wise. We then have Saturn thinking to himself while listening to the broadcast, going, what the fuck are you planning? Oh, if only he fucking knew. We then see Nami and Co wondering where the fuck this transmission is coming from. Transponder snails. Considering Edison has no idea about this broadcast, we can make the assumption that he was not aware of this broadcast happening, so I'm assuming the Vegapunks that are in this broadcast kept it away from the others that they could confirm were not the traitor. This means it was not confirmed to be Shaka, Prometheus, and obviously the OG Vegapunk. Spoiler! If you have not fucking read the last chapter 10, go fuck yourself, really. I'm abusive. I've had coffee, but clearly not enough to not be abusive to people. We then move to the Holy Land, where the former remaining Elder Stars are discussing the shit show that is currently taking place on Egghead. They are furious that Saturn has not dealt with the issue correctly at hand, but they are pleased that Kizaru has killed Vegapunk. They had predicted that Vegapunk had a safety protocol in plan just in case he had died. No, they didn't predict. Sorry. I have glasses, but clearly coffee. Before he fled the island, they need to pinpoint the source of the broadcast to stop the transmission, and potentially that potentially contains the true history of the world. Spoiler: it's not the true history of the world. We then have the Elder Stars debating on where the location of the transmission is. The ideal choice is the laboratory, but that's protected by a barrier. And obviously, that's where Mars heads in the next chapter. Okay, so we see more of the transmission with Shaka and the original Vegapunk. They are debating on what to do for the other 9.5 minutes. This is where Pythagoras pops in and suggests that they brew some coffee. Smart idea. It's interesting that the two satellites that appear with the Vegapunk in this video are currently dead, both at York's hands, Shaka are being assassinated and Pythagoras being turned to stone by a snake. We then move to see the reactions of certain kingdoms from around the world. The first being Dressrosa. The people of Dressrosa are scrambling to get the video transponder snail up and running, as they only have 10 minutes to get ready for the announcement. We see the Tontata are gullible enough to believe the news about Luffy kidnapping a Vegapunk. Rebecca confirms, not Luffy, that they are idiots to believe whatever is said about Luffy, as considering all that they've been through with him. We then have somebody shouting that they've got the video set up and asking which one is Vegapunk, as he's a recluse and rarely seen. We then get more of the conversation between Vegapunk, Shaka, and now Pythagoras. Pythagoras asks, do you want me to calculate the probability of interference? Wait, Oh yeah, Pythagoras does math. Right. We then move to the East Blue and Fuchsia village. The villagers are telling the mayor that he's a stingy old cunt for not getting a video transponder snail. They seem to know what's going on. If there's something interesting in the world, it usually involves Luffy, and it's been ages since anyone in the town has seen him other than wanted posters and maybe the footage of Marineford. We next move to Water 7 in the Grand Line, Frankie's hometown, where we have Iceberg's new assistant Alice trying to wake him up. He gets up and tells her to prepare screens for the message. She says she has one already prepared in the next room for him. He tells her to get some more ready in all the docks and have everyone assemble to view the message in the next 10 minutes. This means the Frankie family are going to see the message and potentially see Frankie. We then move to the World Economic Journal, and they are in an undisclosed location. This location could potentially be Elbath. I'm going to assume it is. The whole airship is in a frenzy. Morgans is screaming. What the fuck is up with this feed? It's being relayed through the Navy frequencies, but it's unencrypted. It's almost simplistic in nature. Vivi asks where Luffy is, to which Morgan tells her, don't be an idiot. This isn't even the current timeline of Egghead. It must be a recorded message, as the bus to call is already bound to happen and destroyed the island, and they've already fucked off, probably heading to our location as we speak. We then see reactions from the North, South, and West Blue, but they are unimportant and we don't really give a shit about them. We then move to the Kamabata Kingdom, where we see the Revolutionary Army watching the conversation take place. They are watching the coffee discussion. For those of them who did not know what Vegapunk looked like, this is the first time seeing the reclusive genius. Ivor, of course, is shocked to see that Vegapunk has lost most of his head. Dragon, of course, is reminiscing how Vegapunk once told him he'd be dead 22 years ago, I think, in Ohara. We then move back to the main battlefield. Luffy is annoyed that his punches are not damaging Kizaru and Saturn, as he's been hurling them around the battlefield. They have been trying to get out of his grips, and he smacks them into each other. Thankfully, Bonnie and Co have gotten out of the danger zone. The force of the clap flattens both Saturn and Kizaru. This is going to look so awesome animated, but annoying because of the Looney Tunes sounds, obviously. Luffy then grabs them like a basketball, and plants them on his finger, spinning the index finger and spins them around, then flings them into the marine warships. It seems to me that there was a telepathic conference, as the four Elder Stars are able to communicate telepathically with Saturn, and somehow Saturn reappears on the battlefield. Because he does. He's flung onto the marine battleships, and then he's moved. This shocks Luffy and Sanji, who's holding Vegapunk's corpse. And then Saturn does the summoning. I'm guessing this is when Saturn does the summoning. He gets a telepathic ping to do the summoning. I don't know, it confused me. Like, did he get the ping, like the telepathic ping, we're coming, get back to fucking land, you stupid spider cunt? I don't know. Or did the summoning circle automatically teleport him back? In this sense, is the summoning circle similar to Von Arga's warp ability? That's scary. Because then it acts as like a kind of keystone thing. Where as long as that warp gate thing is active, he cannot be destroyed. So you kind of have to destroy the summoning circle in order to destroy him, because there's now 4 others. So I'm so confused. It's not something I thought of. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord to keep up to any news and updates on whether I'll actually be doing a reaction. If you want to buy me a coffee, you can buy me a coffee and buy me a coffee, and bye!